Danse Macabre, which I think I'm pronouncing correctly, I hope so, is a very interesting game. I've never seen anything quite like this. And the thing that makes it interesting is the control methods. So we're going to jump in, we're going to have a quick look at the gameplay, and then we will jump out and do some critiques about it, I think, because there's a few things I have to fuss about. This is made for the Scream game jam, something with Scream in the name, that I think is currently in its voting stage. So have a look from the itch.io page. The link will be in the description. Yeah, and can we give this a play, and can we give the devs some love? And while you're about it, just a reminder, please, to consider subscribing and or commenting and or liking this video, because the engagement really helps me and it helps you, because it trains YouTube to show you videos that you like. If you then engage with those videos, and I'm hoping you like this video. If you don't like it, then drop a comment and tell me why you don't like it, because I exist to improve, and I would like to improve how I am presenting videos to you. Anyway, enough talk about me. Let's talk about this game. Let's jump in and play. So this is essentially us. We are a little group of zombies, and we are dancing zombies for some reason. And I think this is something called a rondel, or a variant of it. I don't know much about dancing, but it's something along those lines. And as you can see, it is a number of dancers who are circling around. Let's call it the entity that is leading the dance. Now, the one that is leading is the one in yellow, and he remains in his spot, doing a little sort of two-step maneuver, while the others dance around them. And now, if you can see the one who has the yellow circle with no filling in it, if I press space, that's who we switch to. He will then start leading the dance, and the concentric circle of the dance will shift to wherever he's standing at that moment, and that's how you move. So I want to move towards the other zombie there. So if I press space when he's in that direction, now we have switched closer to him. And press space again, and we keep getting closer. And he's one of our friends, so we can actually pick him up, and he joins the circle. And that is essentially our lives as we sort of gain people. We gain more hits that will then survive before we're taken down. We have to have 3 zombies for the dance to continue. So if we get down to 3, we die. But as long as we are above 3, we can take hits and we can do our thing. And now we have a chest in which there is a sword, and the sword will be equipped on one of the zombies. So let's equip it. It doesn't really matter which one, I don't think. Possibly we find out later, or if we equip multiple weapons, we'll have to make sure that different zombies have different weapons. But yeah, so we are equipping it, and now one of them has it. As you can see, it sort of sticks up behind them and swings around, and if an enemy steps into that swinging location, they then get hit by it and will die. So you kind of want it on the zombie that is sticking out the furthest, so we are swinging in the maximum range. And there was an enemy over here that we can engage with. We clipped him with it. That was nice. And that's how we fight them. If he had touched us, one of our zombies would have died, but we clipped him, so we were the successful ones in that battle. Oh, if you bounce into the wall, you kind of get knocked back, and that is quite difficult to recover from. You can sort of get stuck against the wall until you furiously spam space and are able to get away from it. And this thing is the end of this little sort of level, and then we move into the next level. So let us finish this off. And we are now in the next level. So here we are starting just with 3, but we have 3 that we can pick up. So let's get our move over to them. Come on, guys, join the dance. As you can see, I was getting stuck against the wall. Now you have this level where there's kind of angles, and the angles make it difficult. You have to kind of adjust your mind for it, and you have to use how quickly you press space to switch to the next person by to kind of guide yourself. It's like the faster you press space, the more to the right you're going. Let me see, we are going anti-clockwise, so the more to the clockwise sort of angle of our little circle you'll be turning. So if I press it very quickly, we kind of turn further to the right, whereas if I press it slowly, we curve off to the left. So that is the finesse of this method, is kind of, and then we get stuck in against the wall somewhere, and now we've gone backwards because this is hard. And we're going to hit a hard moment just now because this next guy is firing slow fireballs, and we have to kind of power through it without hitting the wall, which I am doing. Oh. 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 No. Oh, I'm gonna die. No. Oh, we're down to 3. Yeah, and then we die. And I have yet to get to this guy. It is actually quite difficult. So that is it. Anyway, that's all the gameplay I'm going to be showing you. I don't know if there are any finer details that make it more interesting later, different weapons and things like that. It would be interesting to find out, but I'm not going to, because this is difficult, and I want to get this video out so that you guys can come and have a look at it and give it a play and see if you can figure out how to get further. So let us return to the menu. He does not approve of us departing and returning to the menu. Nevertheless, here we are. And that is all the gameplay I'm showing. So if you're just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to offset some of the damage from leaving early. Please, I beg of you. You will help me out a great deal if you do that, and I will greatly appreciate it. I've yet to get my first comment. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so that's all the gameplay stuff. So here we are talking about the criticisms, so the critiques, not criticisms, they're critiques. Now let's remember that this is within the context of this being a game jam game, so there are always things that are kind of left off the design path because you're trying to get stuff done and trying to be as minimalist and efficient as possible, and sort of sacrifice certain features for that purpose. So I'm quite glad we've got something like the sound options, because they normally don't have things like that in game jam games, because they're something that you can easily not include and it is still sufficient for the game jam. So we've just got the 3 normal controls. Quality of life, thank you very much, devs. I always appreciate seeing that. So that's talking about the UI. There's nothing much else in the UI that we can talk about. Just those things. Quit button probably doesn't do anything because we are on the browser. If you win, you get an insanity mode. I have no idea what that is, but very interesting. But we are not going to have a look at that because I am very unlikely to win. So that's the UI sufficiently critiqued. Let's talk about the sounds. Well, the music is nice. Unfortunately, the zombies don't make any noise. Okay, there's sort of a zombie growl there as we join the thing. The enemies don't seem to be making any noise. Just try and go pick up the item. It makes sort of a clink. It's very, very quietly. The sound levels are not quite balanced, but it's sufficient. And the noise of fighting an enemy. Let's see what that's about. He'll come back in his patrol and we'll be able to hit him here, I think. Yeah. So we have, let's see what he sounds like. Alright, just a sort of a hiss of dying, and I think there was a faint clink there as we touched him. So yeah, let's return to the menu and think about that. I mean, I could do with more ambient sounds, more background sounds. We have the music volume, the sound effects volume. There's master volume just to do both at the same time. I don't know. I think more work could be done on the sounds, especially for a game called Danse Macabre. It needs to be more sound strong. The artwork is very, very good. I think I like the way the zombies look. I like the way the scenery looks. These fire lamps with their little tendrils sticking out, a little bit weird, but otherwise they're fine. The enemies are kind of strange. Let's see if we can just have a look at the enemy again. Some sort of wizard, I suppose. We can die to this lad. Yeah, it's more like a ghost, really. I don't know what the wizard is supposed to be. It's a bit odd. Anyway, it's still visually quite dynamic, but I'm not getting any feeling from it. Gameplay. All right, so this is where the main criticism comes from. I feel like there's a tutorial missing here. I feel like we need to learn a lot more about how to play it. I mean, I kind of figured it out struggling with it when I first started, and I was very enthusiastic to play this and to see how it all works and how all of that kind of thing was done. And the idea that somebody who's not that into the game, who would come into this and not entirely understand how to play it and just get frustrated and leave is very easy to believe. So I think holding the player's hand as they first enter the game is going to be very, very important for this. This is a very unique movement system in the game. There are a lot of fine details here that people are not accustomed to, not used to, and yeah, you really, if you introduce something new like that to a player, really need to guide them in carefully and let them find their feet first, to get into the game and to be comfortable in the game before you start increasing the challenges. And I think the game does try to do that. This first level was quote unquote easy for somebody who knows what they're doing, but I found it very difficult at first. I found it frustratingly difficult, and that's fine for a lot of games, but this is a game that is very easy to get to in a website for somebody to just click a couple of links. And those are not people who are going out of their way to find difficult games. Those are people who are just, has been sent a link from a friend going, hey, have a look at this. This is an interesting game. You wanted to learn how to play games. Check out this game. It's weird. It's fun. They're not going to have frustration. That's a potential player who is now being put off your game in particular and gaming in general because this is a difficult and weird experience and they don't get it and they don't like it. So tutorials in itch.io browser games are very, very important because there are people coming in who do not know much about playing games. Other than that, the gameplay is very interesting. I don't like the way it interacts with the wall. The way it kind of bounces you out and things like that is strange. I would prefer it if it bounced you out further so that as the rondel swings around again, you don't keep clipping the wall and keep getting bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced, and you don't know how to get out of it and what's going on. You can sort of get stuck. It's not that stuck because you can spam space furiously, but then you end up going backwards, and it's an exercise in awkwardness. So I think a little bit of fine tuning around that would be nice as well, even though it does add to the game a little bit. But still, I mean, those are my two biggest complaints: is that there is no way to teach you how to play, to teach you how to move in this new movement system, which is absolutely fascinating, very, very clever, very, very clever. And then the other thing, of course, is interacting with the walls and bouncing off them and clipping into things would be nicer if it was a little bit more user friendly, bounced you out in a convenient way, maybe bounced you a little bit sort of backwards along your progression path, so that you kind of have to retake this little bit of the map if you bump into a wall. I mean, not far, but I mean just a couple of steps, quote unquote steps backwards, so that you're away from the wall and you're where you were, and you can adjust your timing and get it better the next time. And then the final critique is just the immersion element. I don't know who I am. Why do I have zombies? Who are these weird ghostly figures that are killing my zombies? Why are they patrolling? What is this dungeon? What on earth is happening in this game? The game doesn't tell us anything like that anywhere. So yeah, a lot of lore needs to be included into this to kind of tell people what's going on. That's it really. That's all I have to present, to showcase. It's this absolutely really good game with a little bit of polish that is needed, but it is a Game Jam game, so that is to be expected. And yeah, that's all from me. I urge you to come and play it. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. And goodbye.